All right. Hi, everybody. It's Amber Kivett with Life Pro. For those of you that are here, I believe we are live on the air. So, as you're going to notice, it's just me tonight. Joel is got some other things going on, so I'm kind of taking the show for him tonight. So, we are streaming live right now from YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. If you could give me a heads up as to where you are watching us from, and go ahead and give me your name and where you're from, or if there's a favorite product of ours, that's another idea. If there's a product of ours that you really, really have enjoyed, go ahead and throw that in the comment section so that we can see a variety of the different people that are popping in for this release. I'm excited to share it with you. This is one of our newest product releases, and if you have questions along the show here as I'm talking with you about the Flex Cycle or the Flex Stride, I'm sorry, we have the Flex Cycle. This is the Flex Stride. If you have any questions about what I'm about to share with you, go ahead and post them in the comments or in the chat box. We have an entire crew that's kind of helping out tonight to make sure that everybody is able to participate with their questions so that I can make sure that you are all getting the information, I'm getting the information. And so we'll answer the questions as we go. And whatever time we have over at the end, if you have other questions, whether it's related to this or to different things, we can go through a couple of those questions towards the end. So really excited that you're all here with us tonight. And I'm seeing a lot of different people. We've got Iowa represented. We've got Naples, Florida. Oh, I'd so love to be in Naples right now. Georgia. We've got New York. Atlanta. We've got all kinds of people coming from all over. So super excited. I'm seeing a Facebook presence. I'm sure that we've got some people that are reaching out from YouTube as well as Instagram. Oh, we've got the UK here. Loving it. Yes. A little bit of the Midwest with Kentucky. So super excited to see you all tonight. Real quick, the product that I'm sharing with you right now, it will be available for a limited time only at 20% off, only starting tomorrow. So if you see this product tonight and you're wanting to buy it, if you go to our website, you're not going to find it available until tomorrow. So don't go looking tonight and then contact me and say, "Hey, Amber, I can't buy it. Like, what's going on?" It doesn't launch until tomorrow, so you're just getting the sneak peek look. So this is the fun time. Um, so anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is the Life Pro Flex Stride. It's very similar, like I said, to our Flex Cycle. The Flex Cycle is more of a bike for underneath the desk, but also for using for your hands. This is more of like an elliptical trainer. Okay, so it has the pedals that you can actually position yourself on. You don't have to put your hand or your foot into a strap. It's a full-size pedal. Works very much the same way as the Flex Cycle, but feels more like an elliptical trainer. So for many of you who are stuck at home and can't get out in the community, or maybe your gym is closed down, or maybe you're working from home and you just have got to stay moving somehow, that's one of the really cool things with this is it fits underneath of your desk. You can use your chair and pedal away as if you are at the gym on your elliptical. Very, very smooth movements. It's got a lot of different resistance, 8 different levels of resistance. And this has a handle, it has a carry handle here. And so holding it up here so you can see it, but weighs 26.5 pounds. So it's not super heavy, easy enough to carry around if you have to. We've got several different features on the Flex Stride monitor. It'll keep track of your repetitions per minute, RPMs, your time, total time, your strides, your distance, your total strides over a series of several different workouts, your calorie expenditure, and then one thing that I like about it is if you see up here in the middle, you're going to see this little QR code. And the QR code, if you use your smartphone to take a picture of the QR code, it's going to hook you up with an app, a Life Pro app, in which you can participate in these different workouts. You can go as if you're on a cycling route. So a lot of different varieties of programming available through that app that you can use on your phone. So if you're interested in having somebody working with you, but you are not wanting to, create the program on your own, you can just follow the app for step-by-step directions on how to, work with it. And as you synchronize into the app, it'll actually show up here on the control screen. So you'll actually be able to see all of that. I actually do not have a price tonight. Let me send Miss Cassie a message. If Cassie, if you can shoot me a message and let me know what we're selling this for. I actually forgot to ask about that. So I'll get you that information. And if not, it will be posted tomorrow. But tomorrow it'll be 20% off for only a limited time. Can you stand up and use it is what I'm seeing. I would not recommend that you stand up and use this. You can only use 110 pounds per pedal, but in order to do it, you got to be balanced. So it has a weight capacity of 110 pounds per pedal, so 220. So I guess if you wanted to try and stand up and try it, you could, but you wouldn't be able to do it without holding on to something because of balance. So I'm going to show you how to work with it here in just a second. Very, very compact though, 8 different levels. It does have the AAA batteries come with it, so you don't have to worry about all of that. But the most important thing is whatever you're using it, wherever you're using it, you're going to need 12 inches of clearance all the way around so that you can actually move the levers. And so many of you, if you're on a slick surface, if you happen to have a non-slip yoga mat or a rug that doesn't slip around, you can actually position that and it won't shift. But the one thing that LifePro came up with ahead of time, give me a second, let me pull these out. These little feet, these are really cool. These little feet go underneath of your desk chair if you have a chair or a stool on rollers. And so these little feet go underneath of your rollers to keep your chair from moving while you're using the machine. So the hard part about casting this episode versus doing it on a different platform is being able to have the ability to hold up here is having the ability to flip my camera on so you can see it up and close in person when it's in motion. I'm seeing question that will this be available on the website tomorrow? Yes, it will be available tomorrow on the website if you go check it out. 20% off starting tomorrow for a very limited time, but not available tonight, and still confirming the price and checking on the price, and we'll get you that very, very soon. But anyhow, I'm going to sit up here in the chair and kind of show you with my hands, and then I'll turn around and put it on the floor and try and adjust the camera so that you can see this. But super easy to move, okay? And it's got these these wheels underneath the platform that give it a really smooth transition. So it's nice and fluid and super easy to move. And we're gonna go, whoops, we're gonna go the other way. And as you can see, I'm flipping because I'm not facing with my heels down, but your heels essentially would be down at the bottom, pushing down, being able to push away so you can go forward and you can go backward. And I'm hearing from somebody that I beta tested and really awesome. So I love hearing that because I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. So let's. So you have the user manual. I cannot tell all of you guys enough. When you get any one of our products, make sure that you keep a hold of the user manual, because there's a lot of different things, information, tips, tricks, secrets about all of our devices that are inside of the manual. The FlexStride has a lifetime warranty, so make sure that whenever you order it, and order it as soon as you are able to order it when it's released, if you're interested. It does have a lifetime warranty, but make sure you register within 14 days so that we can activate that. If for some reason that you lose your manual and you forget to register, make sure and contact us if you have any trouble whatsoever, because we have a lot of people looking out for all of you that are buying our stuff, and we want to make sure that you're happy with it. So if you have any trouble whatsoever, make sure and let us know. I will tell you, if you are on the fence about wanting to look at one of these versus not, if I remember right, the other unit, okay. Yeah, okay, so the website is showing $159.99, but remember, it's going to be less than that because of the 20% off. I know that we had our Flex Cycle less than $100 before the holiday season, and of course, our Flex Cycle, it was off the shelf pretty much all the time. Like, it was really hard to keep that in stock. This is going to be very much the same situation. So again, very smooth and fluid, much like a bike, but it's an elliptical to go underneath of your desk or sitting on the edge of your couch. Pretty cool how that all works. So what we're going to do, give me 1 second. Okay, it says that it's 159, and that it's going to be at the 20% off price. So you're going to find it, it'll be less than 150 bucks, I think, by the time it's all said and done. So sorry that I don't have that information. This is one of those moments when it's handy to have Joel around. But nonetheless, it'll be available tomorrow. So that's the exciting part. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it works. The hard part when we're doing these different live events with the screen that we have available is making sure that you can see me using the product and trying to get everything in the camera. So if you can just be patient with me here, I'm going to try and get myself situated so that you can see all of this. And I might sit to the side so that you can see it from the side angle. And I think you're going to be able to get a pretty good glimpse of what's going on. And my chair is not situated for me, but hey, you know what? I can lean back. This is pretty awesome. Leaning back, and I'm feeling this in my calves and in my lower ankles right now. This just because of the angle that I'm on. So yeah, you can just take yourself a break, drink a little bit of coffee, or having your bottle of water handy. I've got my AirPods on, so you can be on a phone call and trying to think, because of course they say that if you are exercising or increasing blood flow to the brain, then you tend to be a little more responsive, have a better memory, more clarity. As you can see, I cannot scoot my chair forward because those two little pods keeping my chair in position were on lockdown. So hang tight here. I'm going to adjust my camera. There we go, so that you can really see this. But yeah, and right now, oh, well, that's why I can't go anywhere. It was like on a level 6, like I'm trying to kill myself before I even get started. There we go. Super fluid now, way easy, okay? So level 2 right here started like on a level 7, really, really hard. But yeah, so this is an easy way. You can either scoot your stool towards you or scoot your flex stride towards you. And of course, my seat height ideally is not where we want it to be in order for our hips to be comfortable. So you can use a variety of different chairs. This is just my office chair that we've got going on. But if you can hear how quiet it is, it's less than 75 decibels rating. So very, very quiet. And you can see I have my tennis shoes on today. But you could go barefoot if you really want to, if you want to feel it barefoot. But naturally, I've got the tennis shoes going. And let's say you're wanting to work more on the balls of your feet. Traditional cycling, you're driving a 360-degree cycle with the ball of your foot pulling up with the heel. So you can get that motion going pretty easily here. And of course, I'm on pretty stable vinyl flooring. So I'm not really shifting the flex stride around too much. But if I needed more support there, I happen to have the mat that's used for the waiver. So we can just put that right there, and that should keep it from going anywhere. So there's that. Now, let's show you an angle using a different chair so that you can get an idea of a different style of chair. This is just my traditional office chair. And hang tight here. Coming back around. And now I've got this high chair. Okay. Now, kind of the same thing applies here. These don't have rollers. This is just a regular bar height dining room chair. So I can still use that to some ability to keep my stool from shifting. Okay. So higher up with the hips, adjusting the camera ever so slightly. There we go. And so here we go. And just in case you get confused of which way is right versus which way is wrong, the pedals are actually labeled right to left. So if you get confused about which way is right, then it's already labeled for you, okay? So I'm sitting on the edge of my chair, taking my phone call, doing my typing away, writing at a comfortable height, okay? The question earlier was, can you stand up and do this? This is gonna be one of those silly experiments. I have wiped out on one of these before, not on one of these, but I've done one of these silly experiments before on a coaching call and totally wiped out. And I think it was one of those funny things that you kind of go back and reflect on. But I'm gonna create myself a bit of a challenge. So don't laugh if I totally muff this up, because I'm like all of you at home trying to figure out how to work this stuff. And there's no user manual for trying to stand. But I'm going to tell you at home, if I can't stand up and do it, I highly recommend you not try. So we're going to get started here. And yes, it is possible to do it standing, but not very easy. So yeah, I would highly recommend that we don't do a standing up on this, because you're probably going to take a spill, which is not something we want you to do at home. So again, you're hearing it whisper quiet. You face you, and you can see how things, oh, that's so much better. Don't try this at home standing. I already tried it for you. It's so not easy to coordinate that. But I will tell you, this is super smooth, whisper quiet. Whew, I'm generating some energy here. So if you're trying to get yourself a heart, your heart rate up, trying to get a workout, and this is only on level 2. So let's go on to level 1. Okay, so those that are just needing to increase in circulation in the lower body, okay? We're just trying to move the pedals ever so comfortably, okay? Now let's go backwards. Going backwards. Yes. Okay. And you're going to read the directions, and it's going to say to keep your upper body stiff. But I'm all about let's get things moving, right? No, just have fun at home, guys. That's the most important thing. If you can find something, like right now I'm on the balls of my feet. So now I'm working my calves, working my hamstrings, going backwards, staying on the balls of my feet. Very similar to if you're actually on an elliptical trainer at the gym. And let me tell you how I feel about that. Elliptical trainers are tough for me. I don't enjoy elliptical trainers at the gym, because your hips are supposed to be mobile, and your foot ankle is supposed to be mobile, and your knee is supposed to be stable, which means it's always supposed to hinge, open and close. It's not meant to teeter totter. But if your feet are stuck in a position and your hips are up high and your knee connects your foot to your hip and your feet aren't moving, then your hips have to move a lot in order to make up for this, unless your knees are moving in order to connect the energy from your feet to your hips. So I don't like the elliptical trainer on a standing position, because it actually makes my body hurt over time. My body actually swells when I use those machines. And when I have clients who come in who have hip or knee pain because of patella alignment issues, I don't recommend the elliptical trainer. Although it's not impacting on the joints, it's requiring the biomechanics of the joints to adapt and adjust for how you bear your weight. And if you're holding on to those handles and you're pushing really, really hard while your feet are fixed, you're creating a tremendous amount of torsion in the knees that you're not supposed to do. So it's really easy to actually get yourself hurt on an elliptical trainer if you're not stabilizing properly. With this, you don't have to worry about that, because your butt is your stable position. Your feet are in contact with the pedal, and my knees are pretty much just going in the direction that they're supposed to be going, because I'm not using momentum here in my hips to guide the energy. I'm actually using the muscles in my legs, and using my foot ankles and my shins. And I'm using my core a lot more, because I'm not able to cheat the motion of being on an upright elliptical. And then, of course, again, we can go backwards. So if you're coming out of, let's say you've had a total knee replacement or a total hip replacement, this is going to be one of the first things you have to do once you're able to get your full range of motion back. how awesome would it be to not have to go to the physical therapy clinic in order to do this every day? And how awesome would it be to have one of this size that doesn't take up a huge amount of space in your living room that you can carry with you from one place to another if you're going from work to home? Again, I've used the recumbent bikes and stationary bikes. This is super smooth. My joints are feeling really, really good with this. And again, so many levels of resistance if we want to make it easier or harder. And of course, if you're having trouble with your hips or in your knees or your foot ankle when you're on the unit, change the height of your chair. That's going to be a really important thing for a lot of you, is changing the height of your chair. If your hips sit lower than your knees, it's going to be much harder on your hips in order to generate the energy to deliver this. So you can sit on your couch and do it and be comfortable. But I can tell you, this feels really good on my joints. And I'm a very picky person when it comes to what I do with my joints because my joints hurt. They don't hurt as long as I'm using the Life Pro products, so I'll tell you that much. So a lot of different things you can do at home, but very, very cool piece of equipment there. Um, let's see here. I'm looking at some of these questions. I use an executive chair and stretch out below my keyboard and really feel it in my thighs. Yes. And you do. You feel it much more than a full size elliptical trainer. I agree with you 100%, Marcy. Again, I'm not a big fan of regular traditional ellipticals because I think people get really sloppy and overcompensating for certain movements, and they're not able to stabilize properly. So we end up with more pain than we are wanting, and we're trying to get those calories out, and we're trying to stay moving, and we're trying to get the workout in so that our brain can chill out. And so we kind of lose sight of what the purpose is on the machine with stabilization. And with this, you don't have to worry about it as much, but you don't have to be full weight bearing either, you know. So if you're limited, if you have a knee injury, it's a great exercise for recovering from meniscus repair or an ACL reconstruction. I know Joel was talking about that last week. Was he was looking at having to have his ACL repaired, or he's having to heal again, and that's what started his company. You know, a few years back was the fact that he had dealt with an ACL reconstruction and wanted something that he could use at home that was fun and easy to use but cost effective. So that's what makes these so awesome, is you can use them at home. And you don't have to go and rely at the physical therapy clinic for using the bike just that 1 or 2 days a week. You can use it every day, several times a day, and just to keep the circulation going in the body. Okay, so I'm seeing a question here. Does this vibrate? No, it does not. It is a self-driven motor, which means like when you actually start moving the pedals is when the unit will turn on. And then there's a control panel at the top. And again, it's like 26 pounds. So it's um, light enough that you can carry and maneuver it, but it still is a little hefty. So you have your control panel here, and so there it'll show the different features. So right now I'm on the scan feature. So it's going through the strides, total number of strides, the distance, which I just did 0.12 miles, and then the calorie burning. Oh gosh, I pedaled a lot for 9 calories. That stinks. And then the total strides for all the workouts. So you can use that for your tracking device if you'd like to. But again, on the front of there, it has the QR code. So you'll use that with your smartphone, and then it'll download the app to your device, whatever smartphone you have, and then you'll have a workout at your fingertips that you don't have to wonder what you're supposed to do. Let's see here. Let me check with Cassie here. Okay, it launches tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are wanting to set your alarm to make sure you get the first one, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when it launches tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, so we got that taken care of with Pat. Thank you so much, Pat, for asking that question. Looking to see if there's any other that are scrolling up here that I missed. Looks like a great piece of additional equipment, a small footprint in limited spaces. Absolutely, Linda. I could not agree with you more. if you were to see my living room right now, because I teach and instruct and share all the Life Pro devices that come out. My living room is covered in blue, and so these are really handy. My new gym is going to be opening up very soon, and this will be so nice to have for people warming up before they come in to do their um, home exercise programs, their sports, their like rehabilitation exercises. And so you don't have to have these big, bulky pieces of equipment that most people use for what we refer to as a clothing rack in their bedroom. I don't know how many of you are like me with some of those things, but how many of you have a treadmill at home or you have a bike at home that's just collecting clothes and or handbags and or shoes or in laundry because it's just sitting there and you're not using it as often as you probably want to be, but it takes up a tremendous amount of space. So um, okay, let's see here. I will use this for my long days of online teaching. Very good call, Kim. I love that idea. That is so true. If you're able to keep your body moving in some form or another, the research has shown that when you sitting is the new smoking. And of course, I see a lot of back pain, and one of the number one causes of back pain is the muscle called the psoas, and the psoas starts all the way up here right below the diaphragm, and it attaches down here in the front of your thighs. And so when you sit all day, that diaphragm naturally gets really short. And so if you can move, it keeps that from getting too short over a period of time. So any kind of movement is good. So Melissa, you're asking about the cost, and we were trying to confirm that earlier. It shows up as $159 regular price. But with the 20% off starting tomorrow, you're gonna get it cheaper than $159, and then of course free shipping as always in the lifetime warranty. There's no electrical cord. It is cordless. It operates off of. It is a self operated motor, and it has AAA batteries that operate the control panel so that you can work with that. But no electrical cord. It's just a really fluid track with the wheels and the platform for your feet, and it does not vibrate. It's not like the other platforms that we have that vibrate. It is just something to create motion with you driving the motion. So when I'm on it, I'll turn this back around and I'll come over here to the side so that you can see the side angle. You might not get to see my head, but you get to see my feet. um, I'm just I'm just initiating it all on my own, and it's super quiet. So I'm on low level 1 right now, 8 levels of resistance. Super easy to move the pedals, going forward, going backwards, and depending on if you go forward versus backwards is which muscles that you're going to use. So it's very, very cool. For those of you who have an executive chair or have an office chair, this is my office chair, and I don't sit in this chair very much, thankfully, because I like to stay upright in doing stuff. But on the days that I do use this chair, there's these little pods that go where the rollers are that keep it from moving. And then once I get in, then we can, and you don't have to use a mat underneath of it. I put it underneath there earlier just for demonstration purposes, but you can lounge back and you can pedal away, okay? The further you lean back, the more you're gonna use these muscles here on top, closer to your hips. The more you sit upright, the more you're gonna use more of these muscles here closer to your knees, hamstrings, and the lower legs. So you can change your seating position, leaning back into more of a rowing position. Okay, so, okay, let's go into that. So let's say you're wanting to use this for something much greater than just sitting in a chair at your desk. Okay, let's say that you have a workout space at home where you have resistance bands that attach to the walls that you can pull into a rowing position. We can sit here in this position right here and we can row. Okay, hold on to those bands, pedal away for keeping track of your time on here with the monitor, keeping track of your time for a minute, do some alternating rows, okay? Do some face splitters or head bangers, pedal a little more, Okay, so there's so many ways that you can mix up these workouts without just having to pedal from a chair. You cannot stand and pedal though. We already tried that, and it was not an epic fail, thankfully, or I would not be talking with you face to face right now. But it was not a safe situation either, so I don't recommend that at all for any of you. Um, yes, it's great for watching TV. So if you watch TV, that's great. I tell you what, it's great for what I like to say the masters athlete or the aging population. I don't like to say senior citizens because you don't have to be a senior citizen to sit and watch TV all day. There's a lot of teenagers, there's a lot of kids that sit and watch TV all day. So that's a whole nother thing. When we're looking at the child obesity epidemic or kids that are stuck at home because they can't go to school, um, how many of those kids have anxiety or have ADHD because they're just all over the place, but they can't move? Hello, like awesome solution to that problem. That's my kiddo. Like she just has to fidget doing something. So this is an awesome alternative in giving them a little bit of a break from having to sit at their screen all day. And even if they do sit at the screen all day, you can still put them on the flex stride and have them doing some of their studies and keeping them moving because there's a lot of kids that have to stay moving in order to not go stir crazy in their own mind. But if you are that aging population, if you will, I like to say masters athletes, that 60-ish and older, if you are not moving as much as what you used to be able to move because of arthritis or because of osteoporosis or because of, whatever your situation is, you've just had a total knee replacement or a total hip replacement, or you just don't feel good. Super easy way to stay moving and keeping that circulation going through the body. A really important thing to remember though, if you have osteoporosis and you're trying to buy something that is going to help you with combating osteoporosis, this is not what you're wanting to do because in order to combat osteoporosis, you have to have impact with the ground or have to have mechanical vibration working through your feet. The reason why being in contact with the ground is so important is because the ground naturally vibrates. We don't feel it so much because we are so used to it from like childbirth. But that is what causes our brain to continue to thrive is that contact with earth, with the ground. So anytime you're dealing with osteoporosis, you want to make sure that you're staying moving in contact with the ground and or looking at the vibration platforms because the whole body vibration platforms create a huge surge of vibration that work through your feet that then further reinforce that calcium intake, which therefore helps out with the bone levels, um, keeping them from declining. This is not going to work so much for this because you're not making impact and you're not making contact with the ground and you're not absorbing vibration. So but what it is good for, if you do have osteoporosis and you are getting a little bit of that vibration time in, but you're still wanting to develop those muscles, too much vibration can be not so pleasant after a while, depending on how your body adjusts to that. So this would be a good alternative to jump to in order to keep fluid moving through your lower extremity and to keeping your heart healthy because it's really important to move to keep your heart healthy, but also keeping your connective tissue like lotion and motion is lotion, lotion is motion, movement is medicine. So the more that we sit, the more our body starts to slow and shut down into that state of sleepy mode. And then it takes forever to get up and get moving again, especially if you get autoimmune disease or I'm correcting myself here, autoimmune condition, because I don't like to refer to my fibromyalgia as a disease. It's more of a condition that holds us back from time to time. So this is a really good option for that. Okay. You cannot stand on it, Mary. So I'm so glad you asked that. I attempted to stand on it earlier, and thankfully I did not face plant, but it was a really interesting pose. You'll have to go back and check that out from earlier. It does launch tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and it'll be 20% off for a very short time, limited time, if you can get it before they sell out. Because I know our flex cycle, very similar to this, but looks more like the pedals of a bike for your hands or your feet. We had a really hard time keeping those in stock because it was such a popular item for so many people using them underneath their desk. This is actually more fluid, I think. You don't have to worry about keeping your foot in that pedal. and it has the platform for your entire foot. So I really like this. This is really cool. I'm gonna have to get another one of these to have in my gym for people coming in for warm up. So pretty cool. I'm looking at other questions. I see some people on here who love their Rumble X. I'm so excited because I love my Rumble X too. I've had a lot of people who have asked me which Rumble X is your favorite. That has been a very common question the last 2 weeks. And so if you saw my video that I did earlier last week, I believe it was Amber in the Raw, and I was showing you guys what to do in my pajamas with bed head, no makeup, like as raw as I get, like first thing in the morning, right? A lot of you buy these different things from Life Pro, and then you're wanting to know how to get started, and you don't know how to get started. And the most important thing that I can tell you to getting started is just get it out of the box, right? I have talked to so many people, and I have text messaged back with some people, and I have called some people. You know, you have to get things out of the box. It's one thing when you get it out of the box and you get it out and situated and you stare at it for a few days and you're like, I want to try it, but I'm kind of afraid. Don't be afraid of anything that Life Pro sells, because even if you're coming out of an injury, or if you're coming out of situation in which you're feeling uncomfortable about moving with something different, or you're afraid of how your body's going to feel, I can tell you with fibromyalgia and having a history of several spinal injuries, all of Life Pro products make me feel fantastic. And it's just trial and error. So there's no wrong way to do this. I can tell you that much. There's only a few ways that you can actually do it. And so if you come up with some other different ways, all the power to you. I'm sure if you wanted to figure out a way to build up the platform to lay your arms on it for using it as an arm bike, you could definitely do that as well. Let's see, let me check out some of these other questions. Just yes, it can be used for somebody in a wheelchair. In fact, that is a great idea. And so if you are in a wheelchair, and I know that this is not the same level of a wheelchair, but all you got to do is put, so we have these cool little pods. Let me show them to you. And so these are what you're going to put underneath of the wheel of the wheelchair to keep it from rolling. Okay. So as you are, this is underneath of my executive chair here that I don't use in such an executive way very often. So be patient with me as I get my wheels turned around here, because it does not want to cooperate with me. There we go. Okay. You guys are making me sweat just by moving my chair around. That's a good day. um, so if you're in a wheelchair, yeah, just slide the foot levers away. And so that you have your whole area in front of you. You need 12 inches perimeter around the flex stride. And okay, let's try and go flat without a shoe. Let's see how this feels. Okay. Yeah, that's totally doable. I actually do better barefoot with a lot of stuff. And this actually feels really good barefoot. So you don't have to have tennis shoes on. If you want to go barefoot. Feels really good. These pedals have these cool little traction treads on them, but they're not sharp. So you don't have to worry about them rubbing your feet raw if you do go barefoot. Now I'm going backwards. We've got 8 different levels of resistance. Going forwards. Pretty cool. This is like the coolest invention ever. I love Joel and Abe. I love them. They're freaking geniuses as to what they come up with. That's available. I'm always getting a brown box in the mail that has Life Pro on it. I never know what I'm going to open up and find, but it's always some really, really cool stuff. Okay. So yes, it's going to launch tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Hey, something. Oh, I see Bonnie has just joined. Yes, and so we answered the question about the wheelchair, and okay, yes. So loving all these comments. So thank you so much for answering or asking these questions so we can share all these different things. It does not incorporate vibration. These do not have vibration. It is self-engaging. So the pedals are only going to move as much as you're willing to put the effort into them. And so a little short story for you. So years ago, 2005, I suffered from 8 spinal injuries from a car accident, fibromyalgia, head trauma, and had to learn to walk again. And so one of the most humiliating things for me was going into a therapy setting and happened to be lowered into a tank of water in a chair because I couldn't walk at the time. And then once I was able to actually get up and move in small little steps, um, I went to a gym. I'd have to take an elevator to the second floor to be able to get on a bike in which it reclines back a little bit because I couldn't sit straight up and down. But it was really humiliating for me because I could not pedal the pedals fast enough to turn on the motor to actually see how fast I was going. And so that became my motivation. It was like, okay, well, this stinks. If I can't turn on the machine, then I'm really, really weak. So here's a little insight secret on that. I always showed up every day at that gym between 12:30 and 2 o'clock because that's when all of the senior citizens were there. And I kind of fell into similar category with them in that I was very limited in how I could move, and my whole day was wide open to do nothing. So it became my job, my personal mental job, to go to the gym every day just to take the elevator to the second floor so that I could get on a bike to pedal, not even hard enough to turn on the machine, to do that for 4 weeks to finally turn on the machine. So this would have been really awesome back then. But nonetheless, it is self-driven, and you know, you have to start somewhere, my friends, depending on what you're battling, whether it's mental, physical, or spiritual. You have to start somewhere. And so when you can work with what you have and celebrate the little steps every step of the way. I know so many of you are afraid of trying certain things with our platforms or with our massage guns, with our treadmills, with all of our different devices. Don't be afraid to try stuff. Had I not tried certain things, I never would have healed because I tried a lot of things outside of the box that are not mainstream recommended for you know, healing for spinal injuries for eight. And so the bike, very similar to this, but much bigger. This is what saved me. I mean, I would spend an hour and a half on this um, just to pedal enough, just to get my body moving, to create mobilization of the lymphedema in my lower extremity, to keep my nerves trying to fire. And the more that I laid around and sat around, the more pain that I felt. And so that's really important. Like, stay moving somehow or another. And this is something very easy that will fit underneath of your desk. Um, so I'm seeing a question here. Um, Classrooms, teachers, and you know, I'm sure Joel is chiming in here from wherever he is at. You'll have to reach out to Joel. I would send Joel a support email and ask about donating to your classroom. I'm not sure which person this is on Facebook because it's not showing up on my screen. But if you are needing that for your students in your middle school for your challenged learners, reach out to Joel via email support@lifepro.com and see what he's willing to do for you because I can tell you Joel and Abe have a heart like gold and they give and they love others so much and they do wonderful things. So you might just reach out an email to answer that question because I don't have the answer to that question. Um, Wanted to share with you really quick something coming in February. So one of the things I get to do tonight after I'm done here with all of you with the Flex Stride, so many of you have been asking about Amber's workouts. And in order to find all the workouts, if you go to the Life Pro Facebook page and the VIP group, if you're going to find every video I've ever taught for Life Pro between those two areas. You can also go to YouTube and search for on YouTube with the Life Pro channel. But what we're working on for the month of February is the 21-day challenge. And so I have created a list, 21 days, 21 different exercises to do on your vibration platforms. And I am recording all 21 of those videos tonight. I know I've got a long night ahead of me. So I might not be awake tomorrow morning to do a 9 a.m. workout for anybody who has been paying attention to just different things. But I try and do some kind of a workout as often as I can. But I'm guilty, much like all of you. I might only get in 3 days a week, 4 days a week because I try and prioritize the most important things of the day. And some days it's my family more than I prioritize myself, which isn't always the best idea when you look at it in the long run. But that's what I do. And that's how I choose on a day to day basis. But I am working on for all of you. It is a 21-day fitness challenge. And I am providing, it is a list of different basic fundamental exercises that you can do on your platforms at home. And it doesn't matter which platform you have, it's going to be super entry level. So I'm going to provide options for each exercise. So if you are limited, if you aren't able to move a certain way, if you don't have equipment at home, it's just super easy, little 1 to 3 minute videos, very short, but just 1 to 3 minute video clips of showing you how you can utilize your vibration platforms at home. And then when you're able to put those 21 different video clips together, you're going to have like the ultimate amplified workout. And you get to learn along the way what you like to use, what you don't like to use, or what you like to do, what you don't like to do. And if you have trouble along the way, Amber, I tried that exercise that was in the video clip the other day, and my knees are just really not feeling it. Probably not a good exercise for me. Just remember, when it comes to your knees, it's if you're having knee pain, more often than not, it's not a knee problem. It's a problem in the foot ankle, or it's a problem in the hip, or it's a problem with how you're loading your feet as to how the rotation happens, driving energy through the knee. So my point here is if you are playing around with these short clip videos that we're creating for you for this 21-day challenge coming up for February, if you are able to find some different things that you love, love, love to do, you can create your own workouts by mix and matching these 21 different exercise videos that I'm sending all of you. And we're releasing them one video per day, if I remember right. But I've already created the workout and I'm recording the 21 videos tonight so that you have little bits to work with. And let's say your platforms are only programmed for 10 minutes for most of you that have the platforms. And so for that 10 minutes, if it's a 1 to 3 minute video, you just repeat it like 3 times through and then the workout's over. Like, but you can practice those little short movements. And if you're not sure what to do in between, just stand and enjoy the vibration. That's what I like to do. I do that a lot. So um, thank you all so much for listening in. If there are other questions popping up, I'm coming back and forth to making sure what they're telling me on the other end. I'm seeing Tammy is on here. So nice to see Bonnie. Thank you so much. I do appreciate giving back to everybody. Yes, I'm going to drink lots of water tonight. I'm going to come over here and sit down because my legs are starting to cramp from stooping for too long. And you know what? When we start cramping, we got to start moving. So I'm going to move along here. But anyhow, we do not have any giveaways for tonight. We wanted to make sure and tune in on our Thursday evening for something, and I know that you have enjoyed the Q&As that we've done over the last couple weeks. So it just seemed pretty fitting. It was time to release a new product, and so here we are with the Flex Stride. So we really appreciate everything that you're sharing with us in the community. If you have not already joined the Facebook VIP group, make sure and do that because there's a lot of valuable information in that group. And you can ask questions if you're struggling with something at home. If when we start to see a lot of the same questions popping up, that's when they contact me and say, "Hey, Amber, we need to do a video about this." Okay, that's no problem. And so I'm seeing the questions that are coming up, and I try and make videos based on what you all are asking for. So we really appreciate your feedback because we are here for all of you. And without all of you, we're not here. So I really am grateful for all of you tuning in. The discount starts tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be 20% off for a short period of time, limited time only on the discount. And it's only, there's a good chance that a lot of these are going to sell. I'm not going to say there's a good chance. There's going to be a lot of these that sell. And it happened the last time that we sold out and we had to wait for another round of them to come in. And it seems every time we get them in of the flex cycle, they're out as fast as they come in. And so this is a different version of what we have already had with the flex cycle, if you've already had that. But this one has flat pedals that kind of assimilate the idea of an elliptical trainer, okay? So flat pedals, and they work with a wheel here instead of a crank. you're pushing on the wheel, and the wheel is shifting back and forth, and it is so smooth in how it works. I'm not having to work my body too much in an uncomfortable way. But if I need to crank up the energy, there's 8 different levels of resistance. We can do 110 pounds per pedal. So if you are at home and you are battling, different situations in which you're having to get some weight off, excuse me, um, because you're not vertical over the unit, that's how you kind of measure the max capacity per pedal. If you're leaning back, you're not putting 110 pounds on the pedal because you're not coming straight down or pushing into the device. So, if you are worried about not fitting in with that weight limit of 110 per pedal, I don't think you have to worry about that so much, because it's going to take a lot of pressure to equal 110 pounds per pedal if you were vertical, and we're not vertical, we're reclining, or we're sitting upright in a chair, or we're sitting upright on a couch. So I think you're going to be fine. And again, it's very, very smooth, goes forward, goes backward, whisper quiet, already comes with the batteries to get going, no cords, has an app that comes along with it when you connect it to your phone. You will not need a coupon code. They're automatically going to be discounted tomorrow as we are selling them. If I remember right, if Cassie is listening in, you can let me know if we need a coupon code or not. But I think that they're just going to go ahead and it'll be exclusively for that product, not for all life products, but just for that product. Um, and so yeah, you don't have to have a coupon code. If you are having questions about any of the other devices, whether it is a platform or a massage gun or a treadmill or what have you, or the flex cycle, if I'll take a couple more questions before I head out. I'll give you about 10 more minutes of time here before I go start making those 21 different workout videos for all of you to chime into next month. And as they pop up. Oh, so here's the question. Where do you find the VIP group? So in your box, whenever you get your device, I don't have my user manuals over there on the floor. There'll be information on how to register your device. And then if you go into Facebook, it is Life Pro VIP group. And once you click on that to join, it's going to ask you some questions to making sure that you actually have a piece of our equipment or device, and it's for our consumers. And that's where we give away a lot of secrets, tips, tricks, discounts, early release sales, all those kind of things. So there's a lot of great benefits to being part of the VIP group. And that's where you can get more of my videos as you're getting comfortable with your different workouts. There's all kinds of informational videos on how to get started with all of our devices, as well as how do you actually do a workout with your device, depending on what you have. So if there's, I will answer this question. Somebody asked me the other day about which device is the best for lymphedema or for osteoporosis. I just want to make sure to give you some clarifications. We Every one of our devices, whether it is the Waver or the Hovert, or whether it's a Rumble X Max or Rumble X Pro, it doesn't make any difference, or Turbo. All of them, all of our devices are really good for working with osteoporosis, for lymphedema, for fat loss, weight loss, for muscle gain. It all comes down to the speed of what you're using. Hertz, yes, can be important. The more motors that you have on your device, the more you're going to feel that energy, the stronger that energy is. All of our Rumble X platforms have 3 motors, okay? The Turbo and the Hovert have 2 motors. The Waver and the Rhythms have 1 motor. And so the difference between the motors, as you are listening to some of these questions that are coming in on the VIP group, if we're talking about oscillation, we're talking about that teeter-totter or tilting effect. And so every time that you teeter-totter, your muscles have to react to opposite energy. So for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So as you're teeter-tottering on your platform, your muscles are automatically activating back and forth. You just don't realize that they're doing it. And then when we add resistance training through using our body weight and gravity, that just amplifies how those muscles work. And then when you add resistance bands and you add weight or like dumbbells or this amber squishy ball or whatever it is that you want to try, it changes how much more goes into your body as far as how much your body's working. So, what I want to make sure of though is if you stand on the turbo, or you stand on the Rumblex, or you stand on the waiver, you're all going to benefit in the form of osteoporosis prevention as well as treating. I'm not going to say that we cure osteoporosis, but I do know from reading from some of our customers who have shared feedback, it is reversing some of their cases and it is helping in slowing down the progression to where they don't have to be medicated. They don't have to take prescription medication to keep osteoporosis from progressing. So that's a really powerful thing when you're not having to put an extra substance in your body. Um, and so when it comes to all of our devices, the difference is going to be how fast you receive results, how you feel on the platform based on how many motors and how much speed you're using, and the amplitude. And the amplitude is the distance and how much it moves. So oh, I love it. Um, so anyhow, so all of our devices work for osteoporosis, for lymphedema, for inflammation, all those things. So you don't have to buy one specific device for lymphedema, and you don't have to buy a separate platform for weight loss. I have lost 46 pounds using all of our different platforms, and I mix them up all the time. If you ask me my favorite though, the Rumblex series, I love all the Rumblex. I don't have just one that's a favorite. It's a really hard one to pick. Um, I just got on the Max the other day to make an extra video for Joel, and oh my gosh, I didn't realize how powerful those devices really were until I got on it, and then it was like, wow. The Rumblex Max really packs a punch with 16 different preset programs. But if you are dealing with head neck issues, shoulders, and you're trying to loosen up and trying to get more relieved in your upper body, go with the waiver, because the waiver, in my opinion, because it's smaller, it's more gentle. And if you're not planning on doing stuff with your lower body for that, and you're just needing something for upper body and for inflammation, the waiver is an awesome device for that. So when I'm working with clients in a rehab setting, those that have shoulder problems or neck issues, I put them on the waiver because it's easier to control the intensity on that one, and it's much smaller and compact, so they can carry it around with them. The Rumblex, it has the 3 motors, and you can isolate the 3 different motors to however you want them to run. So you can't go wrong with any of the Rumblex. Now, real quick, I just got a message in from the group at corporate with Life Pro. We got some information, and I need to make sure and clarify this because I gave you wrong information earlier. The $159 is what the cost of the Flex Stride with the 20% off discount. So when you get it tomorrow on sale at 20% off, it is going to be $159, whereas it's going to be more expensive after this weekend if it's not at that 20% off price. So I was wrong earlier in saying that it was $159 plus an additional 20% off. It is $159 with, that's already included. So some of you who are just catching on, this goes on sale tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be 20% off at the price with the discount at $159.99 is the price. And so checking, yes, okay. So somebody asked, I want the color paint on your walls. And so this blue gray is Sherwin-Williams Notable Hue is the name of that color. I actually know the color of my walls. Okay, so I think I'm seeing some other things that are popping up here. Oh, here's a question. I tried to join the VIP group, but haven't been accepted. So it takes a little bit of time for those who are controlling who flows into the group and who is rejected from the group. They don't just let anybody into the group. You really have to have a device or to already be a customer because we don't want somebody who is not already using our products to try and come in and criticize products and trying to say that our products aren't what they are without having a chance to try them. So it is just a free service that we give to all of you for being one of our wonderful customers, along with our lifetime warranties and customer service. And most of all of our platforms come with the resistance bands. And so lot of bang for your buck there. But if you have not been accepted to the VIP group, be patient because they okay those as the questions and conditions are met. So tomorrow, so if you go to the website tonight to look for the FlexStride, it will show up as already sold out because it's not launched yet. You're seeing it for the first time. Nobody has seen this yet, other than those who were asked to do beta testing to make sure that it is what we hoped it would be. So that's what it looks like, okay? And super easy to put together. I put that bad boy together in just about 5 minutes earlier with the handy dandy wrench that comes with it. So you don't have to have any tools whatsoever. We provide all the bells and whistles for you to be able to put your device together. But it just took me 5 minutes and no help at all. And that was, you know, with a little bit of a rush going on in my day. And again, whisper quiet, self-driven. So when you pedal, it turns on, and battery operated, which we provide you the battery, so you don't have to buy anything in order to get it to get it going. Um, and weighs about 26 pounds. Has a carry handle built into it. You can snapshot with your smartphone the QR code, the LifePro QR code, which will get you going with the app, and then you can get real competitive with it. It'll actually adjust and give you commands on the control panel once you integrate it with the app. And I believe we're going to be doing some commercials here coming up in the next month. So I'll be doing a video commercial for that for orientation, just to make sure that you understand how to do the app integration with your phone using your FlexStride. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm doing barefoot, but if you're just joining, I already attempted to stand up on it with my shoes on. I already attempted to pedal with my shoes on. You can pedal with your shoes on, with your shoes off. It's comfortable either way. And definitely do not recommend you trying to do it standing up. That did not go over so well. Not meant to do that. 110 pounds max threshold on each pedal on a vertical level. So if you're just laying at home, chilling out, watching some TV with the fam, you know, this is super, super easy to pedal around. And I'm only, right now I'm on level 4. We got level all the way up to an 8. So, oh, the other thing, I didn't answer this earlier. Um, if you're not using it for a while, it automatically shuts off after 4 minutes. So you don't have to worry about turning anything off. It automatically kicks off after 4 minutes. I'm going to double check a couple of questions. If somebody has limited leg movement, yes, you can make the device work. So let's try this. Let's try single leg pedaling. Um, Single leg pedaling, yes, it can. So what you can do if you are not able to move with one foot, let's say you're in a walking boot because of an injury, you can put pressure or drive with you can actually use your hand to drive with the leg if you have to in order to get strength. Like I said, I'm on a higher level, so we're going to start on level 1. Oh, well, level 1, super easy, right? We can pedal with one leg with just on a level 1. Don't try to pedal single leg on a level 4 or you're going to look like I just did. Really, really challenging. Okay. And again, you can go backwards with just one leg. So this is we can call this the limited leg. Okay. And I think it's really good to have another leg in contact with, but you don't have to. I'm doing this one-legged. Okay. And going backwards is much harder because you don't have that energy helping with the pedal going backwards on the opposite. So so yes, limited leg motion, you can do it. Can you use B3 bands with it? Absolutely. In fact, fantastic idea. If you need information on B3 bands, you need to contact me personally because it's not a LifePro product, and I don't promote those directly on these kind of videos. So make sure if you are questioning the B3 blood flow resistance bands, those will work magic. Like if you don't have a device and you want to use the BFR bands, that is a perfect idea to use with this. Awesome, awesome, awesome. But BFR bands are not something that LifePro sells. So you need to reach out to me direct if you're interested in that because I don't tend to share that information here. Okay, I think I got most of the questions. So it's 7:05. I got to go record those 21 videos for that 21-day challenge. So I want to say thank you to all of you for being here tonight. It was super exciting to share my evening with all of you. Super excited about this product, the being launched tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 20% off. It will be $159.99 with the 20% off. So not in addition to, that just means it's going to be 159. Okay. That's with the discount. That's only going to be through a limited time only. So make sure if you're on the fence of buying one versus not, I guarantee you're going to love it. So make sure and get yours soon, because I can't guarantee you that we're going to have them on Monday. They sold, we had the Flex Cycle. It sold out very, very fast. And they were very hard to stay on the shelf. So get yours this weekend, tomorrow. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you all in the VIP group, and seeing you on the Facebook page, and just seeing you wherever. So enjoy and have a wonderful evening. Bye.